right, folks. Dow Industrials right now up 5. We get the Nasdaq down 21. S&P's off 7.5. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Jack Gleason. He has a new office, folks, in Costa Rica.
That's what I hear.
And you can check out Jack every trading day, folks, at MajorLeagueTrading.com. Jack Gleason, what's going on, brother?
Good. Hey, so I'm going to have to give you guys a little bit of a tour. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. If it's going to blacked out or white out. I got my laptop on me, so I know I'm moving around. Probably not.
I see
that. That is beautiful, man. That blue water, it looks like a sunny day, man.
So have you been surfing yet?
Nice.
Have you been surfing yet?
I haven't been surfing. Got here yesterday.
Okay.
Today's my first day trading down here. Yesterday I put a position on in Nadex with the election to the upside.
Okay.
But you know, I'm getting settled in my office right now. I just had to step outside and show you guys that view. I typically keep the blinds closed though, because the sun is obviously really hot, cooks the room up. But
that is so cool, man.
That is awesome,
God.
Man. I did send you over a chart of the S&P. Now, if you guys remember, so last time it was on, last week I missed because I was packing, moving out of my condo.
Yeah.
So I sent you guys over. Last time I was on was 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, and I was like, I think we're going to make a low here. We had one lower low on the close. So that was the second lowest close of the sell-off. And it looks like we're having a pretty good rally here. So I sent you over a chart of the S&P.
We got it up. We do, yeah. And what are we looking at here? The S&Ps. Okay, perfect. We got it up.
So what I have here, this is, that high-to-high extension sequence I've talked about on air with you guys. And it's the high before we broke out in 2016 is where the draw begins. Now that drawn to the initial high of 2018 when we had that run off the new year, pulled back into our 50% retracement at 25.3275. We ended up retesting the 38% retracement, which ended up being our low, and that was that rejection candle. I remember it was a 5-minute candle. It was 29.25 points. It's basically within the same 5 minutes we hit that. This still is the same upside profit target, so 3,035. So, I want to come on and kind of talk a little bigger levels here. There's obviously going to be resistance above. I don't think the volatility is over, but the midterms are out of the way. Unless, the sanction war, which it could get worse. It seems like that's all it's doing. But I don't think the volatility is over, but we did hold that level really, really strong. And I think, just like every other sell-off we have, you pause a week, you come back a couple weeks later, and all of a sudden everybody's bullish again. So,
yeah, well, what's going to be interesting too, Jack, is that if we take just the last high to we just retraced the perfect 0.618 of the whole move. So meaning on the bounce
is a failure. So when we break above the 0.618, that means it's a failure for a continuation. If we're typically going to head in the same direction, we should hold below that 618.
Yes.
So us breaking that 618 tells me that there's a trend continuation failure. If you go back to the crash of 2008, what we held below those 61.8s, and you can see it's just measured move after measured move. And we would not retrace back above the 61.8. We would just continue to fall. So us getting back above that 61.8, we'll see. We didn't close above it. We actually ran right into it.
Yeah, right.
So there is definitely still that on deck. I like the gap fill level below. I know like you guys have my chart up, but I would just say, if you pulled up your charts, basically the lows of last Friday to the current high, that 50% is 27.58.5. That also lines up with the gap fill from the Monday to Tuesday gap. So to me, that's a larger level of support below. I'll probably look to play this week, assuming we don't make a new high. And I think that'll be really important for bulls to continue from that level.
Yeah, all of this and it's possible that we will get some action. You get the Federal Reserve statement at 2 o'clock today. No, the market's not looking for a short-term rate hike, but you never know what's in that statement. They can throw some volatility in the currency markets, which in turn will basically put some juice into the equity markets.
Yeah, and you know what has been really just getting rocked here is oil. So
isn't that cool? I know.
I'm kind of a little upset because I'm not driving as much anymore, so I don't get the positive impact of negative oil prices outside of. I think oil's been one of the best trends to the downside. We're all obsessed with the volatility in the indexes right now, but if you look at any time frame of oil, it's been the best trend, up or down, over the last 3 weeks. So
I have the gasoline chart up right now. We're at $2.14 wholesale for gasoline, folks, on October 3rd. And bottom line is that we hit 164 today. So that is real savings.
We were talking about it yesterday.
Right.
That I've been short gasoline just in my retail consumer status,
Yeah.
as in I've been holding off, Jack, every time. I run my tank down to make sure I let those prices fall, and then I fill it up, man, because it's
effective beauty right there.
it is. It's a true deal, man.
You got to love it, man.
Totally.
So you just got there. You're going to get your feet wet.
Gonna get the feet wet. Got myself a surfboard, and just set up my mobile trading setup. Took a walk down to the beach today, and it's unbelievable. I mean, there's like nobody on it, which is super cool. I'll have to email you guys a photo. Maybe we'll pull it up in the next one and get you a couple more charts too. But yeah, like I said, today is my first day in a rhythm. First day where I even sat down on my computer all day yesterday was getting here.
Gotta love technology, man.
Oh,
Just pick up that laptop, give us the view of that beautiful blue water, and then we're talking charts in no time.
Now, have you been there before, Jack?
Yeah, I've been in the area. I've driven through this town. This is called Santa Teresa, if anybody'd like to just Google it. But it's a town, I think it's about 6,500 people who are permanent residents.
Okay.
But it's kind of cool. The way the internet works now, people are able to make incomes here.
Oh,
yeah. A couple $100,000 working locally, or even if you probably own a business, you probably have to own like a developing firm or something. But there's, the fact that you can make money from anywhere, people are bringing money into these little coastal, beautiful towns. I mean, I'm surrounded by, beautiful homes, and it's like this money comes from elsewhere. So it's kind of cool because it helps the local economy.
It does. Now, what you're going to see, which is pretty cool, what happens, folks, is that it can look like 1 second there's no waves, right? And these are beautiful little surfing communities. And when I say beautiful, folks, the waves are only about 3 feet. But 3 feet, you can really do them for a long period of time without being a super surfer. And what you'll see, and which is so cool, you're going to get used to when the tide comes in at a certain point, then the waves come up.
Nice.
And everyone that lives there knows that.
Sure.
It's like, you'd look out and say, oh, there's no waves today. And then all of a sudden you see people start walking down with their surfboard because it's a certain time of the high tide coming in that the water starts hitting those little reefs out there, and that's what does it. It's cool, man.
I know I got to be careful because I got to know the times of the day. I mean, I don't want to get caught up in a wave, but
you definitely you're caught up in a wave every day in the marketplace, folks. That's listen. I'll tell you a crazy story, Jack. Quick, the Fibonacci sequence, right? When we were down the Cape, this is when you guys were 6 years old, so I'm talking that long ago. What I used to do, and like there'd be a piece of wood in the water, and I'd take the water and I'd push it against it, and it would hit the wood and come back, and I'd always be looking at it and say, oh, that's a .382, a 50, a 618. And it was funny because that's how I got to understand fib so much. It's like, what's the push coming into it as to what the expansion contraction would be, so it's pretty cool.
Fibonacci's life.
that's some cool stuff.
It is. Well, listen, man, it's always a pleasure. You have a great week, safe week, and of course we look forward to speaking to you next week, Jack.
Catch you guys next Thursday.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Live from Costa Rica, folks.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love
Blue
it.
waters.
Major League Trade, now, man, Mr. Jack Gleason. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back.